All right, this is the Fantasy Sports Bus with another video for you. Today, wanted to talk about Kansas City Chiefs running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, before I go any further, if you're not already a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and also hit that notification button if you can. More videos will be coming multiple times per day up through week 3 Sunday, and then of course the live stream this Friday, Football Friday, and then the live stream again Sunday night for the wrap-up. Now, as far as Clyde Edwards-Helaire is concerned, coming into the season, he was mostly an afterthought when it came to fantasy football drafts. 2 years ago when he was first drafted, the last pick of the first round by Andy Reid, he was the guy to get, especially after Damian Williams had opted out due to COVID concerns. And just like that, overnight, Edwards-Helaire was looking at, potential Brian Westbrook-like production. Of course, Brian Westbrook was a former All-Pro running back under Reid's tutelage in Philadelphia, and so visions of Edwards-Helaire being another Westbrook, a running and receiving dynamo, danced in the heads of his prospective owners. Now, of course, it didn't turn out that way. Edwards-Helaire got off to a good start in his rookie season, but then tailed off, also battled some injuries. And then last year was more of the same. So back-to-back disappointing campaigns to start his career. And as a result, it was not Edwards-Helaire who was the talk of the Chiefs backfield this summer, but rookie Isaiah Pacheco, 7th-round pick from Rutgers, who was lighting it up with explosive runs throughout practice, preseason games, and the like. So Pacheco was the one that people were going after, not Edwards-Helaire, who was now mostly ignored, mid-round pick. Nobody was ever really excited to draft him. However, what I will say now, 2 weeks into the season, is that Edwards-Helaire perhaps is now becoming a post-hype sleeper made good. So it started, obviously, week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. I was curious myself to see how the workload would be distributed, because not only did Pacheco make the team, but so did Ronald Jones, the veteran power runner. And then you had Jerick McKinnon, the receiving back, who did really good things for the Chiefs last season, especially down the stretch and into the playoffs. Well, week 1, when the Chiefs blew out the Arizona Cardinals, it was 5 touchdown passes from Patrick Mahomes. So it was the passing game that carried the day. But through it all, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, while he only got 7 carries, rushed for 42 yards, 6 per carry, which is a very impressive total. As far as Jerick McKinnon, though, McKinnon got 4 carries for 22 yards, and Isaiah Pacheco led the team with 12 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown, but the caveat being is that he came in and did most of his work during garbage time. In the receiving game, Edwards-Helaire, 3 catches for 32 yards, so he had a decent PPR game right out of the gate, but Jerick McKinnon also added 3 catches for 27 yards. I'm glancing over at the box score, so that's what, if you see my eyes darting back and forth, that's what that is. But so as far as game 1 was concerned, it had the look of a 3-headed attack. And this is what I had feared coming into the season, why I didn't own any stock at Edwards-Helaire, because I knew Jerick McKinnon was going to be a thing, certainly, especially on passing downs. And Pacheco was a little bit more than a curiosity for Andy Reid. Let's put it that way. Now, fast forward to last Thursday's game against the Los Angeles Chargers, expected to be a high-scoring affair. Lots of passing in this game, but also some very good running by Edwards-Helaire and an overall good game. So at this time around, Edwards-Helaire led in carries for the Chiefs, 8 carries for 74 yards. Very impressive outing, 9.3 per carry. Jerick McKinnon, 4 carries for 12 yards. He didn't do much. And Isaiah Pacheco, just 2 carries for 6 yards. So in a competitive game throughout, Pacheco was really nothing but an afterthought, didn't really do much of anything, got stuffed on a short yardage run. Edwards-Helaire was the guy. Now, in the passing game, again, Edwards-Helaire was the leader, 4 catches for 44 yards. And Jerick McKinnon, only 2 catches for 4 yards. So this was a kind of performance where Edwards-Helaire seemed to inch himself ahead of McKinnon and Pacheco. Now, with all that said, there are still concerns remaining when it comes to Edwards-Helaire. He hasn't gotten double-digit carries in either game, and Jerick McKinnon was the one that was called on around the goal line, not Edwards-Helaire. And then short yardage, it was Pacheco who got the carry, even though he was stuffed against the Chargers, not Edwards-Helaire. So on the surface, to me, Edwards-Helaire looks like a low-end running back 2, works better as a flex. If you already hold stock in Edwards-Helaire, I wouldn't automatically sell high, though, because I think He's proven himself these first couple of weeks that he's running more decisively. He's got some good bursts, where it seemed like he was running a step slow last season. And he's catching the ball fairly well. With Pacheco not really being much of a factor last week, perhaps the Chiefs are now solidifying a two-man backfield with McKinnon handling the receptions and the goal line, while Edwards-Helaire is doing most of the work between the 20s. And that will work fine if he is your low-end running back 2 in your flex. So overall, I'm happy with the start Edwards-Helaire has had. I still believe in the talent because he's a good runner. He did good things in college, and he's an adept receiver. So he is capable of contributing on both sides of the attack. This is a very a good thing in terms of PPR leagues if you hold stock in him in PPR leagues. But overall, it's still going to remain somewhat of a timeshare. McKinnon's not going anywhere. Andy Reid loves him. Pat Mahomes loves him. He's a good weapon around the goal line because he can catch the ball, and he's not a bad runner either. So in terms of the overall picture here, hold Edwards-Helaire. I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't try to sell high. I don't think you're going to get a lot for him anyway, even if you attempted to. So stick him in your running back 2 spot. Maybe you could do better there, but as a flex, he works really good. All right, so again, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button. More videos on the way.